Welcome. Thanks for being here. This is a Note from Mom podcast, and I am your host, Amie Reed Skwiat. I wanted to jump on and do a quick episode of gratitude, or about gratitude. I am excited because the holidays are upon us. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So I wanted to do a special episode on gratitude, and I'll explain why it's so important. But I wanted to start with a quick story because it'll lead into what I'm thankful for. But this was so funny, and it happened, I think, 2 nights ago, and I cannot stop laughing about it. So I just have to share it so that I don't forget about it. Okay, so this story is about my daughter, Parker. Parker, this is for you. So a few nights ago, we're laying in her bed, and I always lay with her before we go to bed. We usually read a book, and the topic came up about makeup because we had gone to Target and she wanted to get fake eyelashes. And I was like, no, you're not getting fake eyelashes. And then she finally found some that you could just stick on. And I was like, you know what? What's it going to hurt? It's not permanent. I try in my head to like compartmentalize, right? So, like, if it's not permanent, just let her try it, let her express herself. And so I have to like go through this mental game in my head, and I was like, okay, this isn't a big deal, let's let her have it. So we get these eyelashes that she's sticking on, and she looks really cute. And I finally asked her, I was like, why did you want those at the end of the day? And she was like, well, I just wanted to look like mommy. And I was like, oh, and it was really cute. And so anyway, at some point I'll do an episode on like developmental like stages, because she's in that stage where she's back to like wanting to be like me and trying to be like me and wanting, very girly stuff, wanting to be girly and like mommy. And so it's really cute. But anyway, so I asked her, okay, what do you think about when mommy wears makeup? Or, what do you think about mommy and makeup? And she says, well, when you wear a lot of makeup for pictures, you look like a creepy witch. I just start laughing so hard. And I'm like literally laughing so hard that I like fall over. I've got my head on her belly, and she's laughing so hard it's like raising my head. We're just laughing so hard. And so we have that moment, and then I gather myself and I look at her and I'm like, well, so what do you think when mommy doesn't wear any makeup? And she's like, thinks about it for a second. She looks me dead straight in the eye and she goes, sorry. She looks me dead straight in the eye and goes, you look like you're dying. I mean, straight up. And I am like, wow. So of course I lose it. I'm laughing so hard. I'm crying at this point. So is she. And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, holy moly, all of my fears just came true in one conversation with my daughter. I look scary. I look like the Walking Dead. Like, wonderful. Yeah. So I had to share that because, I'm also trying to like, how do you tell her like with makeup that she's like, I don't want to tell her like with makeup she looks pretty, because without makeup she looks so beautiful, right? Like, she's just naturally beautiful, and I don't want her to think that you have to put on makeup to be beautiful, right? So anyway, that's why we were breaking it down. So I learned to say that when she does her makeup or puts fake eyelashes on, I just say you did a really good job doing that, right? But you're beautiful without it. You don't need it. So that's why I was trying to break down what she thought about me without it. And so I just, oh, it just makes me laugh because I have this thing, like, I have a hard time leaving the house without some kind of concealer on, right? And I do that for other people, not for myself, for the other people that are going to see me. So, to my neighbors and the people in my neighborhood who see me a little bit more often, you're welcome for wearing that, because apparently I look like the Walking Dead if I don't. So yeah, I had to tell you that story. So my point is, today I'm grateful for makeup, specifically concealer, so that I don't look scary. But I wanted to do this episode obviously for Thanksgiving and gratitude, and we always tend to give more gratitude and be thankful on Thanksgiving, but I wanted to talk about the importance of it. So I've learned over time that sometimes you just got to get out of your head. When we're having a bad day or we're doing the pitiful pearl thing and I don't have enough of this, I don't have this. It's really important to go back to gratitude. And what I've also learned through a lot of studies and research and all of the stuff that all the people I've talked to, it's like, whatever you believe in God, you believe in the universe, whatever it is you believe in or whoever you believe in, they want gratitude. The higher powers want gratitude, right? And so it's really important to be thankful for the things that we do have. And a lot of the times we tend to focus on the things that we don't instead of the things that we do. And it's just really important to try to shift that mindset, because if we stay in this negative place, we're always going to be in a negative place. But if we can go to this place of gratitude, then it opens up our heart, it opens up our minds. It's showing that we're thankful, and sometimes this is really hard, like when you're having a bad day and, it's just like you're grumbling or you're upset. And what's really kind of cool is that when you're in that space where you are giving gratitude, your mind cannot be two places at once. So it can't be like mad and grateful at the same time. You can go in and out of those, those feelings. But if you're in a place of gratitude, you can't be angry. If you're in a place of gratitude, you're not going to be sad. Like in that moment of gratitude, you're not going to be those things. You're not going to feel the negative, not going to be in that negative space. So that's why it's important to work on trying to program yourself to be in this place of gratitude, because not to geek out too much, but like we have these neurotransmitters in our brain, right? And the brain goes to that same thought that we think all the time. In fact, it builds this bridge from synapses to the other synapses, and it builds that bridge for that thought. So it's like you constantly just go there so quick because it's like your brain's used to it, right? And what you want to do is you want to break that and you want to create new positive connections, right? So that's the importance of gratitude, so that you can start to build this other bridge of the synapses and the neurotransmitters, so that your brain goes to these positive places, goes to this place of gratitude, that it becomes second nature instead of this negative place, or I don't like this, or so yeah, I mean, like a kind of like an example. This is a very surface level example, but I have a hard time washing my hair. And if you look at my hair today, I'm not going to lie that I'm going on 3 days without washing it. I did curl it for you, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to curl my hair or to wash my hair. Not only that, but it's the aftermath, right? It's like washing it, and it's usually later at night. And sometimes it's just like last night, my daughter was up a little later and it just was on the cards. So when I get into that place where I'm like grumbling about something that I have to do, I'm like, you know what? I'm just thankful I have hair. I'm thankful that I have shampoo and conditioner. I'm thankful that I have hot water. I'm thankful that I can stand and take a shower, So I know sometimes it's hard when you're like in a bad place. Or I just remember there was one point in my life where I just was in this was part of my core life crisis, but I was in a really bad place and I just couldn't find like the light. I couldn't find the things I was thankful for. And one of my friends actually said, she was like, start being grateful for things, such as like, be grateful for your bills, like be thankful that you have bills. And I was like, bills to pay. And I was like, ew, no, like, I don't want to be grateful for that. I'm not grateful for that. And she's like, well, if you have bills coming in, it shows that you're alive. It proves that you're living. Start being thankful for them. Right. And I was like, nope, not doing that. So I put that off. I'm like, not doing that. And she also gave me this book, and it's kind of like a more spiritual self-help. And I like read one chapter. I was like, nope, put that down. Wasn't listening. So finally one day I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna be grateful for my bills, right? So I started doing that, and then slowly but sure, I couldn't pay all of them, but the ones that I could pay, I was thankful that I could pay them, right? So that I could have shelter, right? So that I could eat. And so it finally, finally became kind of like this more of a second nature thing where I was more grateful for the things that I even grumbled about. And it starts to just kind of open you up a little bit, even if you are in a really bad place. It's, especially when you're like in this survival mode still, or you're like in this external place where nothing's going right, at least we can be grateful for things like the small things, right? That we have 2 eyes that see, we have a mouth that can speak, we have 2 ears that hear, because thankfully we do have those, right? And so I just remember being like walking through like my gratitude. When I started doing gratitude work, it was like I had to think like, thank you for 2 legs, that can work and that can stand. And there were a few days where I did gratitude work and literally I was thankful for coffee. So thankful for coffee. And my brain was so dead. This is right after I had my daughter, and it was so dead that literally I would write coffee, 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 right? Because I started doing like 3 things I was grateful for in the morning and 3 things I was grateful for at the end of the day. And I would write it out. And some days it was just that simple, right? That's all I could come up with. I mean, of course, I was grateful for my daughter in my life, but like in those moments, it was like, I'm thankful for coffee. And that's all my brain can muster up today. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you, right, during this Thanksgiving time to not only think about gratitude and what we're thankful for on the day of Thanksgiving, but try to incorporate that into your life as much as you can, like even if it's like, I try to wake up in the morning and be thankful for another day, right? And be thankful that my kids are alive and that my husband's alive and that my family's here. And, those things that we tend to kind of skip over or forget about, because it does open you up and it's just like opening up your heart and your mind to a better mental space for that day. So yeah. And here's another trick. If you do it in the morning, first thing in the morning, and at the end of the day, your brain waves are more in theta. So you're actually in a subconscious place. So it can kind of go to your brain faster, and stick with you a little bit more. So that's another thing. But some days that doesn't happen, and don't worry. There are days when I'm like literally doing my hair, brushing my teeth, and I'm going through my thankful list. So, do it when you can. There's some tricks, but anyway, I just wanted to, first of all, tell that story so I don't forget it. And I want to say thank you to my daughter, Parker, for being so honest. I'm so thankful that you're honest and that you have a voice and that you say what you think and feel. I'm thankful that you can. I pray that you always are able to do that and stay true to yourself. And it makes me laugh a lot. It makes me and your daddy laugh a lot. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we don't take things personally so that you can. And yeah, so I'm just thankful. Thankful for all of you beautiful people who choose to listen to this podcast and support me. I'm very, very thankful. I'm very thankful for my family that continues to support me always, especially my husband. So yeah, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Be thankful. I know I am. And I think that's it. So to my kids, I love you more than the sun rises. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.